Holding back the years, and not holding back the years, and also a very fine singer, is on the phone right now. Good afternoon, Tom Urie.
Hello there, Mark. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine, absolutely fine. Thanks for taking the time. I know that you're extremely busy at the moment. Thanks for taking the time to speak to us
Oh, no
regarding.
bother. Thanks for the support, mate.
No problem. Regarding your charity single, which is
Yeah.
Mother Glasgow, a Michael
Aye.
Mara song, and
Yep.
it's you're raising money for is it for the victims and families of the Glasgow bin lorry disaster?
Yes, it's for the Lord Provost Queen Street Fund, which is gathering together money for the families of the victims.
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting spread out amongst. I don't think they've decided what they're doing with it specifically yet, but
Uh-huh.
it's just to kind of get it all organised in the one place. And I just roped in everybody I knew in the industry that could help me get it recorded to a really high professional level, and they all work for free. So we got a really good high fidelity classical recording of it, which is something that would never be able to afford to do, you know.
I
So
watched the video. Was it all recorded live, Tom?
yeah, it was recorded in. I wanted it recorded exactly the way we performed it, so there was no overdubs or anything. So we recorded it in the Royal National Scottish Orchestra building, which is acoustically treated, and we got two of the guys from Texas actually, who have a portable recording system set up for that kind of thing. And they came down, set it up, 2 hours, microphones everywhere. We've got the orchestra, and the orchestra all consists of students from between the ages of 18 and 25.
Yeah.
And it was just an excellent opportunity. We were all, it was 3 weeks after the accident, so we were all really on edge about it too, because we felt very responsible for getting it right, and for the fact that felt the kind of weight of the tragedy on our shoulders when we were recording it, but we to make sure we got it right.
Now it'd be pointless saying because normally interviewers would say what was the inspiration behind the single, but obviously,
No, it was. I ended up not having a choice about it, Mark, because I've always felt a bit icky about charity singles.
yeah,
And somebody had, on the day of the horrible day before Christmas when it happened, people had started tweeting Mother Glasgow. We'd done a version of it last year, and it had been getting a lot of people playing it, and it almost became the kind of soundtrack of the way people were feeling that day. And more people were suggesting to me, why don't you do this for the... And I was initially saying, no, it feels like bad taste. Why would you make a single about something like that? But after a couple of weeks' time, it just felt as if, well, wait a minute, actually, let's just do this, because it feels respectful, and it feels slightly apt about the way Glasgow, or any kind of city with a warmth and with a kind of community, responds to a situation like that, very much like the New Yorkers did with 9/11.
yeah.
Or I think it's a very British Scottish thing. We'll run towards an accident. The closer, we run towards rather than run away, because you immediately just want to help your own.
Yeah,
And it's quite self-depreciating about Glasgow, and the way Glasgow people are about their city. And it's written by, as you said, Michael Mara, who's a Dundonian, and I'm from Paisley, so I've got a kind of outside view of Glasgow as well. And it's a love letter to the way Glasgow behaves and responds to getting a kicking, basically, which is what happened. Got a kicking, pick myself up, got on with it. And the best thing about it was I got the blessing of Michael Mara's family,
yeah.
Which was very, very important to me, because he only passed away 2 years ago, and they love the version of it, and they have waived all the royalties. So
Fantastic.
all the songwriting royalties that would come to them, they are given to the fund as well.
That's brilliant. I mean, obviously on the back, because it's 2 years in a row that there has been a disaster in Glasgow, and people feel compelled, I suppose, to do something, because it could have been in Hoyt High Street, or it could have been in Paisley Town Centre, it could have been anywhere in Scotland.
It could have been anywhere, but we're all humans, and I think people really feel also for the driver, because it could happen to any, we're all human beings, and it could happen at any time to any one of us. And we've all stood in that bit of George Square. So many people I knew were heading up that way. It was 2 days before Christmas, and you look at the poor souls that they get caught up in it, and it's your granny, it's your niece, it's your auntie, it's us, And when something like this happens, the way that, you know, artsy people like me kind of respond is to try and do something creative. And this is what we did, and it felt, by the time we got round to recording it, it felt right, and not one person giving me a slagging about it, you know, the way I would expected. It's gone really, really well, and there's been a lot of Twitter response and Facebook response to it. And we don't have a big record company, we're promoting this ourselves. Mm-hmm. So people like you playing it for us is amazing, you know, and taking such an interest in it is great.
Well, obviously, I mean, the musicians and everybody as well, you know, and everybody behind the scenes who's been involved, you know, it's a very tight community, the musical community.
Aye, well, I mean, I'm, you know, over the past 20 odd years or something, I'm always doing favours for people. So when it comes to something like this, you just call the favours back in and you say, listen, remember that time I sang in your record for free? They go, aye, all right then, you know. So you end up working with the best. So we got a classical recording from this, which is beyond my wildest dreams that I'd ever been involved in. Mm-hmm. Like that. And it just, I mean, I think it sounds fantastic. I don't know about you, but if I just think if you listen to it with headphones on, it's as if you're there.
Do you know, I've watched the video and downloaded the track as well, and I have listened to it with the earbuds in, and it's really, really, it's almost haunting. It's almost haunting, I've got to say. It's just a beautiful version.
Well, the thing about it is that the original version that Michael Mara did, it was part of a musical show that he had written, and it was quite an upbeat song. It was in the second city of the empire, Mother Glasgow watches all her wings. It was like that. Uh-huh. And then Tune tried in a version that was a bit more laid back, a bit jazzier. And then what had happened was I was in the house the day after the Clutha disaster. I was in my kitchen and I had my little Casio keyboard sitting at the window, and I started singing Mother Glasgow, but I was watching the helicopters over the Clutha and I could see the crane and the lights, and the helicopter was still sticking out at the top of the building.
Yeah.
And I just sat singing Mother Glasgow, and it came out really mournfully. It came out really reflective and really as if it was like a hymn. Mm-hmm. So I recorded it and put it on SoundCloud and forgot about it. And then I got a call from Ross Gunning from the Glasgow Philharmonia Orchestra, who said, "Listen, I love your version of that. Do you mind if I get an arrangement done and we'll put an orchestral back into it?" And that's where it came from, basically. And we had done that just for no reason than to just do it. And then when the George Square thing happened, that's where it became a thing, you know, and we thought, right, well, actually, let's try and do some good with this.
Fantastic. And talking about doing good, how can people get a hold of this single? That's the main important thing, Tom.
It's download only. It's on iTunes and Amazon and all the other usual places you would buy a download online. Mm-hmm. So the simplest way to buy it on iTunes and to please tweet and share, and it's word of mouth that's selling it, basically. Yeah. Alan Cumming tweeted for us in Hollywood, and it sold quite a lot in the States now as well. Fantastic. And it's just the more people tweet about it, the more it's selling. So it's great. It's not going to raise a fortune, but it's a few quid, you know. For all the money's going, every single penny's going straight to the fund. That's it. Every single penny helps. Aye, absolutely. So, I mean, whether it's 10 bob or whether it's a couple of grand, it's going to go towards helping, which can only be a good thing, you know. Absolutely brilliant. So, the best search to do is just search for Tom Urie, Mother Glasgow, and that's Tom Urie for the benefit of the listeners. Urie, yes. And can I just say, on you go. Sorry, on you go. Oh, you go. No, I was just going to say on a personal note, I know that you do a fantastic amount for charity, and I'm hoping that the listeners and everybody else through the social media channels gets behind this and they raise as much money, not just in your name, but in everybody else's name who's been involved in the project. Thanks, Mark. Well, I mean, there's been a lot of people involved. There's the Glasgow Philharmonia who are a really exciting young orchestra, and they're they're a very dynamic, very enthusiastic bunch of kids, mm-hmm. And I felt a bit like an old duffer working with them. But it was a kind of funny, weird combination that worked. Uh-huh. And for Ross and Michael from Texas were doing the recording, it just became a kind of odd collection of Glasgow people. And we're toying with the idea of doing a video now, an actual video, because the video online is just a straight live. Somebody pointed a camera at us while we were doing it. I do have a question for you on that. Uh-huh. Could nobody afford the mic stand for you? Well, see, I tell you what, you're looking at the old video. There's a new one.
Right.
But the old one, the one that you've seen, was the first time we ever did it.
Uh-huh.
And that was not the recording. That was last year. And it was a rehearsal. And the Daily Record were there for 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And myself and Gary Lamont, who plays Robbie in River City, were to go and sing with them. And we got in, and the record said, look, we have to just film whatever you do. And I hadn't met the orchestra or Ross. So we sat down, and I just started playing it. We couldn't find a mic stand, so Gary, that plays Robbie, held it. And it just shivers down my spine when we sang the song. So the version you're seeing on the video is the first time we ever met. We'd never rehearsed it before that.
Just looks like it had such a personal touch that they were looking after you without a mic stand.
Absolutely. No, it wasn't, you get this a mic stand, because, they like the young boys, there's a mic stand. So it was just because there wasn't one there. But if you have a look, if you have another Google for it, you'll find the up-to-date video, which has got a posh mic stand and a posh mic.
Oh, that's even better, even better.
Aye.
Well, can I just say all the very best and good luck with it. And,
Thanks, Mark.
We'll encourage everybody to keep tweeting about it. I'll stick up more links, and
Wonderful.
We'll try and do what we can do. We're going to play it out now. Stay on the line, Tom, and we're going to play this for the benefit of listeners. This is Tom Urie and Mother Glasgow.
In the second city of the empire, Mother Glasgow watches all her ways, trying hard to feed her little starlings. Unconsciously she clips their little wings. Mother Glasgow's succor is perpetual, nestling the belly and the Thames. I dreamt I took a dander with Saint Mungo to try to catch a fish that couldn't swim. Among the silent bells and flightless bodies, Father Glasgow knows his starlings well. He'll know make his own way up to heaven by waltzing all his charges into hell. Mother Glasgow's succor is perpetual, nestling the belly and the Thames. I dreamt I took a dander with Saint Mungo to try to catch a fish that couldn't swim. And the tree and the fish and the bird and the bell, let Glasgow fly